subscribe if you got the time, man. We just rocking out this evening, man. We haven't went live in a little minute because we've been on the road, still on the road, as you can tell, moving around, getting some work done. But we're gonna rock in real quick tonight, real short live chat, real short fight talk, man. As you read the titles, we're talking about Tank Davis, Gervonta the Tank Davis, man. The boxing issues, the boxing concerns. Has the sport of boxing bypassed Tank Davis? Is it done? Has he been outpaced? Has he been outprocessed from the sport of boxing as his competitors, his peers have really starting to outgrown him? Even to the point now where, few are making the money now. Few are getting, the bag as well. It used to be that, Tank Davis be the one that only got the bag. He's the face of boxing, the one that gets the money, the one that gets the cash, the one that you want to fight in the lighter weight divisions. And now that seems to be kind of going away, in the terms of, especially shout out to Turkey Al Sheik and Ring Magazine. I mean, they're getting the bag, right. They're how do you say this? They're compensating. Let's keep it like that. Let's keep it cordial. They're compensating the other fight as well. I mean, shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson and the others. Like, now they're making the bag. They're making the money. They're getting paid, right? And it used to be that. And it's even to the point now where they're getting paid more than Tank Davis in some cases, or getting just as much. So the bag that was always there, the carrot of a big fight with Tank Davis. Don't get me wrong, a fight with Tank is still big for the likes of Shakur Stevenson and him. We all want to see that, you know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. But with everything that's going on with him and him getting picked up for his charges, you know what I'm saying? What's up, GT? With Tank getting picked up for charges, his arraignment just came out. Like, it's getting pushed back to August now. His charges getting pushed to August. He's about to be arraigned. He's about to come in and see what the official charges are about to be. I mean, what is going on with Tank now, to the point where is he at in the sport of boxing? We don't know nothing about the pay-per-view no more. His name is getting thrown around. What's going on, Riviera? His name is getting thrown around for the obvious domestic abuse, and it's becoming an issue, and there are reports starting to fly out now. It's the reason we hopped on real quick. The reports are starting to come out that he's thinking about retirement already, meaning Tank Davis, Gervonta Tank Davis, is considering retirement at this point. It's kind of crazy. The brother's just, 30, if I'm not mistaken, just got to 30. A lot of fight left in him, a lot of career left, and it'll be a waste of a talent for this man to drop out. Especially, I mean, I don't know what he's got going on with his baby mama or whatever. That's his business. We'll see when the arraignment comes out. And if you just heard, yes, his arraignment it's been finally scheduled for August. He's going to find out what the official charges are. He'll go before the court. And at the same time this is coming out, we're seeing other reports that the brother's thinking about retiring, announcing his retirement. The pay-per-view, obviously, between him and Lamont Roach we don't know. It's TBD. So what we're talking about this evening is, I mean, where does the brother go? Where is Tank? What's the options now? Has boxing bypassed him? His peers is moving on. They're getting championship belts. They're growing. They're getting money as well. PBC's not keeping him active. And honestly, I think this might be the trouble he's getting into. It's like he ain't being active enough. He keeps asking for more than one fight a year. And now they're leaving him idle. So I don't know. But we're going to break it down real quick. We're going to walk through where he's at in his career. We're going to walk through the options. We're going to walk through these charges. And understand where he can go, right? Is he still the face of boxing? I think he is. I think he's the young face of boxing. We all know Canelo's the big face right now, between him and till he gets it on with Terrence Buck Crawford. I think Crawford stands a good chance in that fight, but right now Canelo's the man. But Tank is moving with Tank possibly retiring. I mean, what does that do for the weight divisions? Let us know. Hit that comment section. It's free. And hit that like button if you can. Gets eyes on the show. Helps us continue to grow. And more importantly, subscribe if you got the time. We got plenty of breakdowns. So one of the videos we just dropped this afternoon while, again, we're on the road moving around. So that's why we haven't been on live as much as we used to, or usually are, has boxing bypassed Tank Davis? What's with all his dilemmas, everything he's got going on, does boxing even need Tank Davis anymore? The young face of boxing, like I like to call him. The old face right now is Canelo. Been around for years. Got that throne from Floyd Money Mayweather. Getting the bag, getting the bread. Now you got the likes of Tank Davis. It is what it is, right? You already know, brother. You already know that's my nickname. What's going on? Does it still need him, though? Let us know what you think. In our opinion here, I think it depends on what his next fight is. I think it still needs him for that big fight. I still want to see that Shakur Stevenson scrap, right? I think we need him for that. I think we need to solidify some things of how great Tank is, right? I think we all see the talent. We all see the power. We all see the skill set. He's got the swag. He's got the promotion behind him. I really want to confirm how great he is or great he could be. I think he does give up a lot of rounds when he fights, but he always finds a way to come back, outsmart, get that power in. Yeah, he took a draw with Lamont Roach. Arguably could have lost with that damn knee. Doesn't know what's going on. So do we need him? I think we need him for particular fights to see how great he is and where he lined up in the sport of boxing. Does the sport of boxing actually need it? And that's where the real crux of the issue comes, right? With the way that Ring Magazine is moving and DAZN is getting the younger fighters in and pumping in that money, getting them fighting, moving around. I don't think they need him anymore. I don't think they need him anymore. Yo, it's between Scotty and Urkel. Which one y'all think, by the way? That's my other one. But not Glasses Urkel, though. The better looking Urkel. Well, I forgot his damn name. Stefan? Was that what it was on Family Matters? But as far as the sport of boxing, I think they're about done with Tank. Tank only fighting once a year. This shit ain't getting it. Ryan Garcia fight, that was big. That made big money. So he is there for the big fights. He is there for the big gimmicks. But if he's going to try to take on this Jake Paul, if he's going to just try to get the gimmick fight or, God forbid, fight Manny Pacquiao, I guess that would be interesting. But, string out something with Manny Pacquiao. It's just a big money fight. So at this point, it's Tank Davis no more than the gimmick circus fight trying to retire. In my opinion, if that's all he's going to do, then yeah, the sport of boxing don't really need that. We want that kind of stuff. We want to see the big fights, how the fights grow. But, I mean, then you got no more than Jake Paul. That's all Jake Paul is. Gimmick fights, big fights, it's entertaining. It brings people out. But it's in the core sense of sport of boxing, I think they're done. I think they done bypassed them. Got guys like Abdullah Mason getting up there, fighting anybody he can. Devin Dream Haney, say what you want to say about him, getting in the ring with everybody. Teofimo Lopez, and back to Devin Dream Haney, has undisputed before he has. Moved up in weight, got belts. Both of them fires, Teofimo and Devin Dream Haney. Which one, GT? Which story? Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, he definitely, Haney's no joke. He steps up, no matter what you want to say about him. He has no power. And for a man that doesn't have any punching power, he was willing to fight anybody. That means he's got at least some heart, and believes in his skill set in boxing to carry him through. Oh, yeah. So this one happened, it happened mid-June. The incident happened, I believe, at his house or wherever his baby mom was at. Apparently he hit her or did something. They haven't really clarified yet, and that's why the arraignment's going to happen, right? All the evidence start coming out. So this happened mid-June. Today, the they announced his arraignment. It will happen in August. I believe the date is sometime in the first week of August. They'll do the court announcement and so forth. Get him in there, bring him on formal charges, what it's going to be. Matter of fact, I'll pull up the report real quick. Yeah, so it has been rescheduled. So they haven't announced everything yet. So I believe it's going to be first week of August and everything. So what's going on, Michael? At this point, man, I think Tank probably cooked, man. And part of me thinks this is, he did this before, like the getting arrested. Not saying he's doing it on purpose, but PBC was actually successful turning this into a promotional type thing, and it made the next big fight big. His next couple fights big for him. So who knows? Same, Mike. Peace and love, bro. Peace and love. What's going on, Smits? Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below and subscribe if you got the time, man. We rocking out just real quick while we on the road, moving around. It's just, we really had to get on this one because we're starting seeing these reports fly out quick that Tank's considering retirement. He's getting his arraignment coming in August. Damn mugshot is getting plastered. It's rolling out right now. So the last 30 minutes or so. And we actually had just dropped a few videos about, actually just dropped it earlier about has boxing bypassed the likes of Tank Davis. And we were dropping that for a totally different reason. We were dropping that as his competition. Are they catching up to him? Has he not been fighting enough? What's up, G? You say you got 800? I'm gonna check your channel out. Yeah, we just started moving too, man. It's YouTube is what it is. It is what it is. I say grow correct, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna check you out though. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and save the thing now. I'll go ahead and check it out here in a second. Is it GT? Got you. I'll check it out after this live. But yeah, slow roll, grow how we grow. It's a hobby for us, man. So we just do it to do it. And talk boxing, talk sports, make the topics we want to make, and move around. But like we said, we're moving out this afternoon, September 29th, 2025, coming up in about a week or two. The brother's about to get a reign. And we can go different ways with this, right? We're going to go 3 ways with this, I'm sorry. And we're going to be quick. With the Gervonta Tank Davis issues, right? Number one, he's his own issue. He's his own man. He's his own problem. The man's 30 now. He's got to cut this shit out. No matter what it is, what's going on with him and his baby mama, that's his business. Cool. My issues with him is number one, not fighting enough, not being active enough, not pushing his promotional company, PBC. He's got his own Gervonta Tank Davis promotion. He broke away from Floyd. Can't blame Floyd no more. Not fighting enough. 1 fight a year ain't getting enough, man. You got to be active in front of the fans, giving them what they want to see, even if you're just taking a big fight in a one-off, right? He's got to do a little bit more to stay active. That's his own fault. You're your own brand. And he could have gotten out the PBC deal and moved around and made different deals and still been an independent contractor, just like Devin the Dream Haney does. And still got to the bag and still been loyal to PBC. He can bounce back and forth. Look at what David Benavidez and Benedetto Rojas doing. He's a PBC fighter moving around. Mario Barrios moved around. These guys are getting down and getting busy. We already named like Abdullah Mason, Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Devin the Dream Haney. Hell, who else we want to name that's down there in that weight and has actually moved around? These guys, these young guys have already jumped up, got belts, moved up, moved on. Some are talking about already jumping up and moving on. in weight, capturing belts, and these same guys that's been around for a while. So his inactivity is killing him. His, I guess, perceived loyalty to the PBC is probably hurting him. I know it's hard. He's a foundational member. He's a big promotional for them, and it's hard to break away from that brand, right? But when you're inactive, you're not taking the fights everybody wants you to take. Fans get tired of that. Yes, you're a big name, but if you keep not giving them what we want, fans will eventually walk away, and I think that's what's starting to happen. They're starting to rock out with these other young fighters that we just named that are actually fighting, giving us the fights they want. Now Turkey's paying them. Now Turkey, Al Sheikh and Riyadh Season, DAZN, Matchroom, and these guys are putting on these big events, putting these guys in there, making the production look good. Hell, now we're headed to Netflix. Can y'all imagine once Netflix takes this shit over and gets it moving even more and start getting the promotions in there? They already got advertisement dollars moving. Then these guys start to become household names. You're going to get left behind, brother. And I really don't want Tank to get left behind. I'm a Tank Davis fan. But he's got to put in. He's got to put in some more. So you combine that, his inactivity, his unwillingness to fight certain names, or at least it's always got to be on his terms, which turns fights down. The constant out of the ring issues that we just covered already. Again, he's getting the rain. It's coming down in August. It's already being rearranged. Lamont Roach fight is out of here. It's getting pushed back even further, if it even goes down, because they're already talking about really scrapping that fight for a Manny Pacquiao fight, or obviously you've already heard the Jake Paul. It's going to be one of those two options. That's where they're leaning at, the big money fights. PBC, they're trying to do what they can to stay afloat. They need the big fights. The war is on, right? So with that nature, everything that's going on, his competition's on his neck. They're fighting each other. They're moving up. They're getting the accolades. The fans are starting to realize this. Everybody's fighting. You can't continue the same story. You can't keep hiding. Not saying he's hiding like he's scared, but you can't keep writing a narrative that the reason why your business company is not doing business with the other promoters is because of this, and this, and you're on the other side of the street. The business of boxing right now clearly has shown that all these promoters work together. There's no reason that they can't be. And they need to make this thing happen. If he wants to stay active, he wants to stay in the minds of the fans, he's got to make this move. You can't be fighting once a year and think that's going to happen. And more importantly, you can't just be fighting once a year on pay-per-view and think you're going to stay in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. If he wants to stay this route, I think the question will be answered. I think the sport of boxing is done with Tank Davis. I think they're seeing through the certain things that his promotional company has been doing. I know they're trying to keep money tight and in the pocket, and that's fine. If that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do, but they're going to get left behind. He's not going to end up being a great that he can be. He has the talent. But you're not going to be a great without the great fights. I don't care who you think you are. If you don't have a great resume, at the end of the day, we're going to look back at the end of time and look back at the resume of who you fought. And if it's a bunch of wannabes and no names, yeah, you probably got the knockouts. No one's going to care. Your name will never be remembered. If you ever seen Troy, old movie, placing myself, but you seen Troy, Brad Pitt, when he looked down at that kid when he was Achilles, and the kid said he's scared to do blah, 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 whatever, and he looked at that boy and said, that's why no one remember his name. I'm looking at Tank. There's going to be a reason that nobody remembers Tank Davis' name if he goes out this way in the sport of boxing, especially if he continues this retirement talk without fighting the names he's supposed to, putting on events that he's supposed to, and being the star that he's supposed to. But with that said, I think he might be fine with that. He's getting the bag, getting the money. I think he's okay with that. I think he's mentally, and it's the last point here, I think Tank Davis is mentally himself done with the sport of boxing and checking out. That's our opinion. Let us know what you think, man. Hit that like button. It's free. Helps to get eyes on the show. Subscribe if you got the time. We've got plenty of videos, plenty of breakdowns. Check out my man GT. I think he dropped his stuff in the chat as well. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, man. We appreciate the love. We're just rocking out while we're on the road still, man. We've been moving around in hotel, traveling, doing a few things, and we stopped this afternoon while we got some free time, talk a little bit boxing, but we're still dropping videos while we're even on the road. Check us out, man. It's your boy Casual Sunday Podcast, man. Peace, love, happiness. Hit that like, comment below, subscribe if you got the time. So like I said, man, what's going on with Tank and his boxing concerns? If you want my honest opinion, and we said a lot here tonight. You said, how do I think, hey, what's going on, Edwin Martinez? You said, how do I think of Roach? Are you saying like, do I think the fight will go down? And if they fight again, how so? If that's what you're saying, Edwin, I it's 70-30 that Lamont Roach fight actually happens. I really doubt he takes the Lamont Roach fight again. That was a tough fight for him. I don't think he really wanted to fight Lamont Roach in the first place, mainly because they know each other. He knew him too well, and he knew that. He knew Lamont Roach knew him. He knew Lamont Roach. That's a tough fight when the guy already knows your tricks and stuff like that. You're very familiar with each other. Lamont Roach is big now, too. He's talking about going up to 140. I don't think Tank's going to take it. I think it's still a big fight. I don't really want to see it myself. I want to see him and Shakur Stevenson, which goes to your second question there. But let's say him and Lamont Roach get it on. I think Tank Davis wins by decision against Lamont Roach in the second fight. I think he changes up a few things and not try to rely on his power in this case, and actually try to box a little bit smarter, a little bit more cleaner and more precise, and use some of his speed to his advantage. Now, with Shakur, that's the fight, right? That's the fight we all been begging for. That's the fight we all want to see. Now, if Tank Davis wants his name remembered, Tank Davis wants to impress the fans and bring us back into that corner, get the culture going again, he needs to go ahead and take that Shakur Stevenson smoke. That's going to be a hell of a fight. And to be honest with you, that's a 50-50 fight, him and Shakur Stevenson. Shakur's a boxing genius in that ring. It's going to be tough. He's defensively sound. He showed that he does not have to depend on his leg work, by the way. He can stay in the pocket. Now, I don't think he can do all that, get hit as much as he did in the Zepeda fight. Not that he got hit a lot. I don't think he can stay in the pocket as long against Tank, because Tank actually has power. It's proven now that Zepeda doesn't have as much power as we thought he did. Staying in the pocket that long with Tank probably get him hurt. But I think he can stay in the pocket enough to impress the judges and move around, use his leg work, and obviously box clean. I think he is the better boxer, man, than Shakur Stevenson. With that said, I think the smarter fighter is actually Tank Davis. Now, I know that sounds weird. The better skilled fighter, naturally skilled boxer, I should say. I think the better fighter is Tank. Skilled boxer is clearly Shakur Stevenson. Ring IQ, he can move around. And his reflexes, they're sharp. He depends on a lot of instinct, if that makes sense. Tank, I say he's probably the smarter fighter between these two because of how he sets his traps. He's quick, he can get in, but more importantly, if you ever watch Tank fight, he'll lure them into a trap, lure them into certain things, and get them into a rhythm. Then he can let off his offense and catch them with good shots. Not always going to be a knockout, knockdown, but he lands hard shots in places to set them up, get them comfortable, move them where he wants them to go because he knows he's got the power. He knows they're thinking about it. So he sets up a trap, and that takes a lot of thought and thought process for a fighter to do that, especially in the midst of a fight, especially if you're down in a fight. You got to be smart. You got to have good ring IQ and patience to set those kind of traps he does. That's why I think he might be the smarter fighter, but the more skilled boxer is Shakur Stevenson. Hit that like button, it's free. Comment below, subscribe, man, if you got the time. We're going to rock out for a little bit longer tonight. We just, like I said, impromptu while we on the road, moving around. And this is a topic for us. I really don't know what Tank's going to do. I know he's got to handle this court got to handle the court business. He's got to get this out the way. He's got to. I mean, he's got to get through it. It's coming in August. He can't duck it. He can't dodge it. Whatever he did, he did. If they can settle an agreement out of court, that's fine. All this retirement talk that they're hitting us with now, and the flashes are coming up right now. It's just social media posts, so nothing official yet. But they're talking about he's claiming he wants to retire now. So we'll keep tuned into that. If it does happen, we'll post it. If it doesn't, we'll come back and clear that up. But either way, with the videos we did post earlier outside of that topic is, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis boxing concerns. Is Gervonta Tank Davis outside of boxing? Has boxing bypassed him? And yeah, I believe so at this point. He's got a lot of ground to make up. He's 30 plus now, so it is what it is. Why did who fight, GT? You said why did who fight? And speaking of that, while respond wait on that, Shakur Stevenson. While we were talking about him, I think he did a brilliant job against. Oh, why did they fight? Okay, I got you. The people we're talking about. So Tank, well, obviously Tank hasn't fought Shakur Stevenson yet. We need them to fight. Bunch of reasons why they haven't fought, from promotional outcomes, schedules, you name it. They both throw each other under the bus. Lamont and him fought, obviously. They knew each other, same promotion company, PBC. They haven't fought again because same promotional company, they know each other, PBC, and now Tank's in trouble. And Tank wants to get a big bag, and PBC wants him to get a big bag because they need it. They need it, and they know the big fights are with Jake Paul. They know the big fights is with Manny Pacquiao. That's why they dug him out of retirement. I hate that they robbed him of that win over Mario Barrios, which is something we could talk about. I scored it 8-4 favor of Manny Pacquiao, but it is what it is. They gave the victory to, I'm sorry, they gave it a draw. Saves two fighters. If you checked out other videos, we broke down why they did this. You only had one fighter right there who was a champion. And then Larry Liston said, do I think Barrios was holding back? You know, I thought about that in the fight, especially when I got to the later rounds. It almost looked, and I called it live, I almost thought that you could see it, like almost like Barrios was starstruck, in my opinion, and didn't want to do certain things. Because I've seen Barrios fight harder, but I've also seen him fight the exact same way I seen him fight Pacquiao. He did it against the Ramos fight. A little lackluster, almost like he got tired or confused in the ring. But I did think about that if he held back on a Manny. I think he did, but not in a carry type thing. I think he did it because he just didn't know. He in a ring with a legend, and he got lost in the sauce and couldn't think through it. And with his inactivity in that fight and his lackluster performance, in my opinion, he lost by decision. And he probably would have been sick had he lost by decision because he could have did more, especially against a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao. But with that said, scoring it live, we had our card up, 8-4 Pacquiao. It was clear, and it was kind of sad. It was kind of sad to see a legend that PBC convinced to come out of retirement. Whether he convinced himself as well, this man came out of retirement, gave y'all a good pay-per-view. It's the highest on pay-per-view they've had in a little while. It had a lot of fanfare out there in Vegas, man. It was kind of sad to see him do him like that. But at least they gave him a draw. They could have robbed him from the real wrong way and gave it a loss. So, yeah, Manny won that. He won that. And, like, I agree, two things can be right. Like, Barrios, I think he held back a little bit by confusion and being starstruck. And hey, brother, you got to come out and fight every day. We said it on our 3-minute fight drill. You fight Manny Pacquiao. That's a legend. You need to steal that. You need to go take his thunder, take his crown. Don't hold back just because he's a legend. Go in there and beat his ass. He came back to boxing, put some hands on him, treat him the right way, and then walk him out respectfully. But he didn't. He had too much respect in that ring, and confused and starstruck, and he lost. He lost. Which leads to my other point. Had they gave it to Pacquiao, this probably would have set up the Gervonta Tank Davis fight for at 147 pounds, which would have been a decent pay-per-view because it would have been for a championship belt. Now, if they do it, there's no belt on the line. It's crazy work, but it is what it is. Yeah, the Gary Russell, he came back strong. He came back strong. I think he carried his fighter a little bit ways down, but I think he wanted the ring. I think he wanted the rounds and try to work on a few things, get that good rhythm in, make sure he's good on his stamina, because I think he could have knocked him out a little bit earlier. He definitely could have got him out of there. And you talking about Larry? You talking about also you like his little bro? You talking about Antoine? Antoine can fight. He got popped, and I like to see Antoine and Richardson Henson get it on. I think that'll be a good fight. I know they had amateur background where Antoine's gotten the best of them, but I think the pros are different. That'll be a good fight. Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below and subscribe if you got the time. It's your boy Casual Rebel Sunday Podcast. We're rocking out on the road still, as some of you saw our other videos where we're still out moving around. But we're gonna keep rocking. We're gonna keep moving. We've been dropping videos. We dropped another one earlier today. Where is Gervonta Tank Davis? His boxing concerns. Has boxing bypassed him? Check out that video. Just dropped about an hour or so ago. And then check out our other ones as we got. Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, if you haven't heard, had his surgery. Starting to get them built-in excuses starting to flow. Edwin Martinez said, "What is our thoughts on Shakur pressing Conor for that fight?" I saw the mixed interview. I thought that was a good setup, by the way, how they did that, having both of the fighters right there. Man, sometimes I want to believe Shakur, and then other times I'm like, there's no way, right? 147-pound fight. He said he'll take him at 147 pounds. Part of me believes him. I like what he did because he's saying his skill is better. He can outbox the likes of Conor Benn, and I think he can. 147 pounds jumping up for your next fight to do it, that's crazy. But I think he can do it because I believe Shakur walks around at 152 or something like that. So it wouldn't be too bad for him to actually get there. My issue would be, can he deal with the explosiveness of that much of a bigger fighter? Not that Ben has a lot of punching power. It's definitely a lot different since the steroid allegations. But part of me, his mind, I think, he's thinking, he's looking at it, he's like, man, I can pick this guy apart. He ain't got that kind of power. I can walk him down similar to what Floyd did to Canelo Alvarez, right? Just outbox him, got the skill set. Yeah, he's a bigger fighter, but he ain't got that kind of power, got enough a good enough jab and stuff to keep him up off me, move around, stay in the pocket a little bit when I need to. So I like how he called him out, but I really, if you're talking about feasibility of that fight really happening, I don't see it. I don't see it. It would definitely take Turkey working with Eddie Hearn and throwing some good money at least Shakur to make that fight real. Before I see a Conor Benn fight, though, I'd rather see the Tank Davis. Yeah, and with Antoine and Puello, it was good technical boxing. I think I think Antoine's learned his lesson. Does that make sense? I think Gary's learned his lesson. He got beat, and he's come back. You can't just bulldoze everybody. Not everybody's gonna fall. Not everybody's gonna get knocked out. And everybody's gonna get knocked down. You get what I'm saying? Um, I think taking that loss the way he did, I'm gonna say early, but how he did last year, um, he's become a smarter fighter, and I think it's better. Sometimes these losses, man, these fighters get tied up and lose, and you need to go out there and get your ass whipped once or twice. Take a loss, and us as fans, we got to do our job, right? You throw no fighter away, especially if they come in and fight and give you a fight. No running, you know, no ducking, no hiding in the ring, no Tom and Jerry as they call it. As long as they came to fight, fight smart, put on the show. You throw no fighter away like Tevin Farmer. I ain't throwing Tevin Farmer away because he got beat in the first round. That man's been fighting and scrapping anybody you want him to. He comes to fight. He doesn't back down. He's gonna come and give the fans a show. Throw no fighter away. You keep supporting them as long as they can physically fight, as long as they can physically put on a good show and not taking too much damage. Because after a while, on the back end, I don't want to see nobody get hurt if they just going in there and getting, knocked around. Y'all get what I'm saying? But as long as they're fighting smart, it's good shows, it's good, I don't care about no loss. Zero, who cares about an O anymore? Go in there, fight, put on a damn show, throw some hands. Let's grow the sport of boxing. That's how you get advertisement dollars. You got to get advertisement dollars. The only way you do that is putting on a good show for the casual fans, and for the hardcores. We're always going to be there. But for the casual, you gotta get them in there. You got to put on something for them, entertain them, do something. You can't be messing around, and you want people to spend their hard-earned money. Second thing you got to do, we got to get off this pay-per-view model. Shout out to Turkey for finally saying he's going to get up off of it, but I want to take it a step further. I don't mind the subscriptions for certain things, especially for the big fights, but let's take this a little bit further. Save the subscriptions, the DAZNs and the Netflix fights for the big fights too. I mean, we can have still plenty of fights on those and grow the brand, grow the network, but let's get some free stuff going too. Shit, throw something on Tubi if we got to, but good production, no bullshit. Throw a good fight on Tubi. Y'all get what I'm saying? A good fight on Tubi. Don't just put a no name. Don't put a big name. Drop them on Tubi. Free fight. Everybody can check it out, or put them on Fox, whoever, whatever's the free network. Put them on there. You said any news on Keyshawn? He is going to 140 for sure. That's for sure. He's going to 140. Rumor is he is talking about fighting Tio. I doubt that fight happens next. I think he's going to take a tune-up from what I'm hearing. And that tune-up will probably be around October timeframe. And Tio fight early next year, if they can negotiate that out. But he's done. He's at 140 for sure. Like that's signed, sealed, delivered. Keyshawn Davis is up to 140. And speaking of Keyshawn, y'all know we went out there for his fight that we thought was going to be his card, and he backed out and didn't give the fans nothing, no real apology or nothing like that. That brother to get what he needs back, because we was in the crowd and at his hometown, Norfolk, they were upset. That brother's got to do some work. He's got to put in some work to get his name back. And whoever this tune-up fight, I ain't gonna say tune-up, I hate saying that. Whoever his comeback fight is at 140 pounds, he needs to go in there, put in some work. I ain't saying he's got to knock him out. Put on a show, put on some work, and get straight to a big name, meaning Teofimo. Go and put some hands on Tio. They got enough history with the racist stuff back and forth, whatever they had going on. Go ahead. It's a tune-up or an entry fight to 140 and get straight to a big name. No playing around for him. He's done. He can't mess around no more. It said, Larry, you said you want some kind of platform like Showbox back in the day. Man, you right on it, where you can grow talent. Places like ProBox and Top Rank. Major hit when PBC lost Showtime. Yep. And you kind of miss how boxing used to be. Man, I do too. Showbox used to be the truth, because that's where the big names started to grow. And that's when boxing took a hit. Like I said, the Showbox on Friday nights. That's when we took a hit, when we started putting everything on pay-per-view. Everything's got to be the main event. We stopped growing fighters, growing the names. Everybody wants to jump straight in and be the name. You got to put them on a free platform or a low-cost platform with big name, big fights. Take some risks, because somebody's probably going to lose. and put on a show so people can remember their name. So to me, shout out to ProBox. I really mess with what they got going on right now because they at least putting it on free YouTube fights at times. They still got some pay-per-view in there, but ProBox is good. I like what they're doing. BLK Prime, it's okay. It could be a little bit better with the production, but it's okay. But we need to do more of that. We need to grow these fighters, grow the brand, like the sport of boxing as a whole. We need them free fights, good production, good advertisement dollars. Get some Nike brands on these guys. Get some Powerade in somebody's hand. You get what I'm saying? Get something going on. Hell, put an OnlyFans on somebody. Something. We got to get the name out there because when you start seeing that, they're in commercials. That's how these guys grow. That's how the NBA stays free to watch. For the most part, they're kind of messing up too with getting all these packages. NBA, MLB, soccer, biggest sport in the world. These sports you can watch for free because they got advertisement dollars and businesses behind them. Boxing is messing up by not taking advantage of that. Real talk. You said, who's my favorite up-and-coming prospect right now? Oh, man. I like Abdullah Mason, for sure. I like Abdullah. He's my favorite lighter weight fighter, up-and-coming, prospect-wise. And technically, he's a contender now. So I like him. I like his heart. I like what he did. And speaking of him, I like how he really stepped up to be the main event in that Norfolk call in his opposition territory. And still showed up, showed out, was professional, and stayed after. We recorded that and posted the video. He stayed after the fact, even after Norfolk kind of started leaving. He still gave him the interview. He talked to the crowd, all that stuff, man. That young man right there, if he can keep his head straight, he's gonna be something. So lighter weight, in the lighter weights, I'll say Abdullah Mason, favorite prospect / contender now, and then in the bigger or upper weights, if you want to say, even though Diego Pacheco is technically a champion, he's champion, right? I think he got his championship belt. I like me some Diego Pacheco, and I like me some Moses Atamo. Moses Atamo's actually, I'll go ahead and just go with Moses Atamo for the heavyweight guys. You know, super middleweight up. Moses Atamo's got good hand speed, ring IQ. The boy can box and he's got power. That's something you haven't been seeing in a while in the heavyweight division. I like what he's doing. He's got some work to do, but he's got some good promise. Shout out to the UK. You say you want to see, Larry said you want to see somebody on Zeus, Zoo Network, try their hand at, Zeus could. They've already promoted a couple of Floyd's exhibition fights. That's true. And seeing a card, I could see Zeus doing it. I don't know if they want to invest the money in it right away because it costs a little money throwing some of these good fights. But Zeus would be a good one. That's another network to grow the brand, right? Get us going. At the end of the day, and the people who can do it right. If PBC and Ring Magazine came together, can y'all imagine this? We're gonna speak this into existence. PBC and Ring Magazine, Turki Al-Sheikh, if they came together, combined the stable, PBC still has their independence, Ring Magazine still has their independence. They just have a mutual binding contract where they do X amount of fights together. They put on their fights, get their stables going, put on X amount of fights together, right? At the same time, they have a contract, put the money in place for here's the fighters we're going to grow, here's the stable we're growing. They will fight on whatever free network, Tubi, Zeus, BLK Prime, ProBox, you name it, if they can do work with those partners or come up with a new TV structure, get a deal with maybe just YouTube, period, or YouTube TV, or get it back on Fox, you name it. They come up, put the resource together, grow the brand like that. Then for the bigger fighters, obviously they're going to fight on Netflix and DAZN. And then for their superstars, the Canelos, the Tanks, hell, it gets slim when you talk about superstar, but you get what I'm saying. Those kind of guys who earn those pay-per-view dollars, then they fight on pay-per-view only. Back in the day, we had pay-per-views. 90s really created the heavy pay-per-view traction. But even then, You only had an X amount for the year. They were affordable for one, and more importantly, it was for the big fights, the big names, the big talents, right? You bring back the nostalgia of a pay-per-view. When it's pay-per-view, people know that's something I got to watch. That's the whole reason of pay-per-view. I need to pay to see this one because this has got to be a fight. If it's on pay-per-view, you know it's a big star, big name, and it's going to be a clash. Mid-tier fighters, even if they're superstars, you can still put them on the subscription-based brands, the Zone, Netflix. It's probably where it needs to rest at. I don't really like Amazon Prime that much. And then everybody else, we grow you in and out the free networks. You might come up and fight on the Zone, you name it. But imagine this, if PBC, Ring Magazine, put their difference aside, combine that stable. Turk got the money. Al Heyman's got the connections for different arenas, different TV platforms from US to UK. That's a hell of a team, hell of a stable, hell of a backing that can begin to grow the sport where it needs to go. Hit that like button, it's free. Comment below and subscribe, man, if you got the time. We're going to rock out for just a little bit longer. And then we're going to get ready to rock out. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We already covered the Gervonta Tank Davis, where he's at in the sport of boxing. Like we said, man, it's a hobby to us. We're on the road, moving around. This is what we do. It's a hobby for us, man. We like doing this. So hit that like button, get eyes on the show. We really appreciate that love. Subscribe if you got the time, man. We got plenty of videos, plenty of breakdowns. We do live fight chats, by the way, as well, especially when we're back in our main area. We have the mic studio and all that. But we still do it even when we're on the road. We'll do a live fight chat, live fight breakdown. We do prediction videos. You name it, we do it. Appreciate that love, man. Hit that like, comment below, and subscribe to your boy Kaz Robert Sunday podcast. Before we get up out of here, like we said, we covered Tank. Where's he at? Is the sport of boxing, bypassing him? Is it going past the brother? I think it is. If he stays on this track that he's on, we already heard the news today. The Raymond's been pushed back to August, meaning all his pay-per-view, all that Lamont Roach talk is back. He's got to get busy. He's 30 plus now. He's got to get busy. There's no more of this, his fans accepting not taking certain fights. He's got to take them, move on, get it done, put it on for the sport of boxing. If he doesn't want to do that, just let me know. Let us know, brother. You don't want to do that, you don't want to be remembered, that's fine. Go take the gimmick fight, go take the big fight with Jake Paul, Manny Pacquiao, and retire. But he's got to do something if he's going to stay in the sport. Outside of that, for the sport of boxing continue to grow, we broke it down, right? I think we got to push every fighter. Don't care about a loss. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing the sport and make sure we're making it viewable for all fans. Got to. But anyways, we appreciate everybody rocking out tonight. We're going to get ready to close it out. Thank you guys. Thank you for rocking out. Check out GT's channel. Is it still up there, by the way, in the chat? I'm going to hit that. Go check that out. And then definitely, support the small podcast, man. We do this as a hobby. We keep rocking out. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the interaction, man. It's your boy Kaz Robert Sunday podcast. Till the next time. Peace.